Hi, I'm Levy, your friendly neighborhood Chibi Leviathan, and I'll be recapping session 18 of Lumineth, the Looming Green. When we last left off, we were about to start Fight Club, which no one talks about, but we're talking about this week. We basically opened up the tavern, or gathering house that we were living in, and revealed that there was, in fact, a cavernous basement that led deep down into a huge open fighting area. We decided that two of our allies were going to compete in this competition. Milton and Zeke were both going to take their chances at winning as King of the Hill in this tournament. We started off with Milton taking to the battlefield, which was kind of this 15-foot wide bridge spanning the Colosseum area. It just kind of fell down into not razor sharp spikes and spinning blades, but I think just like some sand or something so that you wouldn't die from it. Healing was provided for those who needed it to make sure that they didn't get murdered. It was not to the death. There were two champions fighting in it that I can't quite recall the names of. I think one was called One Punch Man because he could get hit once and was knocked out, and the other I don't remember, but was like a monk. They each challenged Milton one at a time. One Punch Man got taken out pretty swiftly by Milton. Then the monk came in and gave Milton a little bit more trouble, but was taken down by him. And then it was Zeke's turn to potentially challenge Milton to win. But seeing as Milton had already won, and there was no real reason to fight against an ally, Zeke simply let Milton have the win. And the Vano crystal, or ingot, was awarded to him. Then, of course, because Zeke wanted to be a challenger, and the announcers were quite aware of that, and wanted to have more fighting and have more of a spectacle, they invited him up to challenge the other two for a second round, and this one would be an all-out battle where they fight him at the same time. In the first round, he put up a pretty good fight against the monk and did some damage to him, avoiding knocking out One Punch Man, who we didn't know at the time was one punch to knock him out, glass cannon type of guy. And the rest of us at the time made some bets on who would win the fight. We bet on Zeke, of course, but because he didn't win in the first round and took some heavy damage from the attackers, he was kind of the underdog in this scenario and was not looking like he was going to win. Of course, we felt otherwise, and we had a little bit of a hand in it as we had prepped our fighters beforehand, and each round on, I think, 20, when layer actions would go off, we got to do some sneaky, tricky things, like I gave him guidance, our druid healed him, and our warlock did some mind slivers, which are invisible because it's a psychic attack. You can't see that shit coming. And on the second round, so with Zeke instead of Milton, I specifically had prepped Zeke beforehand with some arm wraps around his hands and put in them little drawings of ball bearings and activated my Tinker's magic when he was up there to essentially put ball bearings in his arm wraps, which worked kind of like brass knuckles to deal extra damage. Zeke was, of course, victorious, and we won a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. I think we bet almost everything that we had, and so we won like 4 times what we had put in, and I think we won a total of like 4,000 or 5,000 gold pieces, plus the original prize, plus Zeke won like 2,000 for winning the pool or for winning the fight, something like that. So yeah, with all that extra money, we decided we were going to try to buy the boat from Wilford, or whatever that raccoon pack's name is, Wilford Brimsley or something maybe, and we are going to turn that into our bastion. We were tasked over the week to come up with our shopping lists, what we want to do with that money, And we'll be taking off on our adventure this week tonight. So stay tuned for me recapping that at some point. My plan is to try to get one of those cute little scuttling lanterns with my money from Obojima, because they're super adorable and none of us have dark vision, so that's going to be useful. And if possible, I'd like to replace my bag of holding with a bag of holding, because I'm currently using one of my artificer infusions to create that, and it would be nice to be able to use that for other means.